So I wanted to talk a little bit about frequently asked questions, FAQ pages, that kind of thing. So I got a question last week when I had made the recommendation for a new store. Hey, we should build out some FAQs for not only your website, but also for your Google business profile. And they're like, why am I going to put in all that time and effort? So I asked them, how many people do you think are home Googling those same questions in proportion to the ones who actually show up and or call, contact, whatever, the dealership and ask those questions? So wouldn't it be great if your answer, because you guys are the subject matter experts, wouldn't it be great if that answer was available to everyone and actually helped drive more organic traffic to your website? Well, there's a way to do that. It's called FAQ pages. And I'm not saying it's an end-all, be-all, that's it, that's the magic pot of gold to drive. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is being the subject matter expert means that you have the capability to load up those frequently asked questions, not only for sales, but for service, for parts, for your entire store, the collision center, the rental car center, anything and everything, and create such a rich keyword rich content page that your shoppers can then find the answers to the question that you know they're asking at home via Google. So what I would really recommend, and I've said this before, but it really needs to be applied a lot more broadly than I've mentioned in the past. So in addition to creating an FAQ page within your website and separating by department and making it searchable so people can look for a certain term in there when they're on the page, but answer those basic questions. So for sales, what would that look like? For example, you want to ask, what's the difference between a finance and a lease? Let's get really broad. Why should I look at leasing? What's the benefit of leasing? There's so much. A lot of people don't lease because they just don't know about it, and we fear the unknown. So talk about leasing. If you know you have a certain target for leasing in your particular area for your particular OEM, then make a point to create as much organic content around leasing and demystifying it as possible. So another aspect you can look is, why should I buy a certified pre-owned car? Well, you can talk about that. I mean, that's at least 10 to 15 posts right there. You can talk about every single aspect of why you should buy a certified pre-owned car. There's subvened interest rates typically. There's a longer warranty, whatever it is for your particular OEM, you can talk about that. And that's a benefit, that's an added sell. Again, you're establishing yourself as a subject matter expert. This is the way to do that. This is one of the steps to do that. Another question that I hear a lot is, why should I finance a car at all through the dealership? So give them a reason. Give them a reason why they shouldn't go to their local credit union. Maybe you do business already with their local credit union, which I highly recommend you do, especially with interest rates being what they are. But I digress. So what you're really trying to do is see all those questions that customers are having when they come into the store. There's customers at home that have those as well, that aren't getting answered, or they're getting answered incorrectly, or by someone who's not a subject matter expert, someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, and someone's only goal in life who's to bash car dealerships. There's plenty of them out there. We've given them a lot of reason to do that. But making that up on the other end, that's the important part, establishing yourself that you're out to win their business for life, not just their business for this particular car. That's the goal. So this goes along with that. For service for your, and that's a couple examples. There's tons more. If you don't know where to go or what people are asking, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. I would start with your sales team. I would start with your sales team, your finance managers, your sales managers, and everybody in between, and ask them, what are the top 5 questions that you get every day that you're just sick of answering, either by phone or walk-in customer, email, whatever, and post those with full answers, like completely detailed answers. And then moving on to service. So there's lots you can talk about in service. I mean, the service FAQ page should be for days. So you're talking about what's the difference between synthetic and standard oil? When should I have my oil changed? Is it really still 3,000 miles? What does a bad rotor look like and how do I know? You know, just little stuff like that. Again, your service advisors are great sources of information. They can tell you exactly what 5 questions they've been getting asked they're sick of answering that you can answer in your FAQ pages. Parts, I know very little about parts, so I'm not even going to attempt to actually give you what parts would look like, but ask your parts guys, back counter and front counter, because those are all people that are looking for answers to their question, people who shop at either counter. Collision center. Again, not an area that I have a lot of expertise. So ask your collision team, hey, what questions are you guys getting on the daily that you're just absolutely sick of answering? Your rental car, that's a great one, because a lot of people don't even know that car dealerships rent cars. So it's time to show them you do. It's time to show them you're competitive with the big rental car brands. And if you offer airport pickup, if you're close enough to an airport, I mean, that's your prerogative. And that can be a question all of itself. Hey, would you pick me up at the airport if I rented a car from you? Absolutely. Just call our shuttle service. We'll be there within 30 minutes or less, you know, or whatever your grab is, your why buy from me, or why bring your services to me. Then after you've created that full and robust FAQ pages, you think you're done, right? You are not done, because your team is going to get frequently asked questions every day. So what you should be doing is have some kind of shared spreadsheet, whether it be a Google Sheet or whatever it is, where your team can add in any frequently asked questions at the end of the day, or someone can add that in, and then that can be then accessed by someone who's creating the FAQ page on the website, and they can post those for you. So if you're continuing to add to those, that actually is where the real magic happens, because then you're starting to make a really robust, relevant, keyword-rich content page where people can find you and get the information from an expert that they need to get. So where else can you use that information? So there's a section in your Google Business Profile, and I've talked about this a lot. It's the questions and answers section. This is also someplace that you can post your FAQs that you've gathered and continually update. And again, it's just another place to add those keyword-rich content pieces that really get us to move the needle on that organic traffic. So that's 2 challenges I have for this week. Is A, figure out how to build a searchable FAQ page with your website provider or your digital marketing team. Start asking everybody on your team, sales, parts, service, collision, rental car, and everybody in between. Your OLM is a really good resource for FAQs, and start posting them on the website. And then the last one is to mimic what you have on your FAQ page on your website, on your questions and answers for your Google Business Profile, and really build out that really relevant, keyword-rich, solid presence for your organic traffic. Because at the end of the day, that's really what's going to move the needle as far as your sales is. Just as more people into the showroom equals more people buying cars, more people on your website equals more people in the showroom. So it's simple math. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Happy selling.